Is this what cocaine feels like, or did I have bad coke? So last month I tried cocaine 2 times. The first time I had a very small line and was expecting a very anxious and edgy high, like too much caffeine can be. After a few minutes I felt more energetic for sure and wanted to move a lot and go for a walk with my friends and talk about stuff. After about half an hour it was over. The second time I had a slightly bigger line of the same coke and my friend said it was good quality and that he felt amazing. I felt the same as the first time, energetic but not uncomfortable and jittery like when I drink too much coffee. My nose went numb of course and I felt a little more talkative and was in a slightly better mood, but I didn't feel any extreme euphoria or like I had just won the lottery like some people say it feels. After it wore off I had a key bump and then again after a few minutes I became more energetic, wanted to move and talk more, and it did make me a bit more confident, but nothing like the feeling like I can conquer the world feeling that people describe. It basically felt like a better form of stimulant than caffeine, as it didn't make me feel uncomfortable or anxious, yet it gave me more energy and a bit more confidence, but nothing too extreme or overly euphoric. Marijuana always produced much more intense and intoxicating / mind-altering effects, and that is why I never liked weed. It's a bit overwhelming for me. Cocaine felt really subtle but nice. After the key bump wore off I was left with a headache and was feeling tired, bored and wanted to go home or do more coke, but I decided to not do more. My question is this what cocaine usually feels like? Energetic and making you want to do things without feeling uncomfortable? Or did I have bad coke? I am also on paroxetine, an SSRI, but I read on the Tripsit drug combinations chart that there is no significant synergy with cocaine and SSRIs. So basically, is cocaine just a nice subtle high? Do you need to do a lot to feel the I can conquer the world feeling? Honestly, the best way to know if it's good coke is its smell and color. When it smells like straight gasoline, then you know it's pretty good. Also, if it's white it's not that pure. Pure 100% coke is generally a little bit tan in color, but slightly, and yeah, but your coke experience was pretty average. You feel good one moment and you're just looking around, and boom, you feel that shit, feels like you're on a sick one, just about ready for anything. Hell yeah, it's a confidence booster. The half-life of coke is around 30 minutes, so the come down is obviously gonna make you feel kinda sad, but in a way like fuck, I'ma need some more. All in all, you for sure did some coke, yay, snow, bird, tweet or whatever you wanna call it. For the best effect, go half in one nostril and half in the other. Why didn't I get the I feel like the king of the world feeling though? It was a lot more bearable and subtle than marijuana as well. It basically made me feel better, but it was nothing like whoa, I feel so good, I can conquer the world and all that stuff. Depends how much you did and how well it was powdered. Unless you actually saw raw coke rock, then whatever you guys got was probably cut with something else to make bulk. That's the misconception about cocaine. Good pure or close to pure cocaine isn't supposed to make you rage out and rave and that shit. People who get like that are usually mixing shit. Cocaine is meant to help focus and stimulate you a little. I do rips and usually crave them the most during a bad spell with my anxiety and depression. Even just one night can center me and put me back in a good spot. It's taken years or knowing my limits, combining that with who I'm with and where I am. I've done rips in a bar one time and hated it. I hate even going uber fucked up. I may have 1 or 2 rips before a club, so then I don't need to drink as much, but that's it. I'll still have a blast dancing and stuff, but I don't get crazy. Once I'm home though, I'll binge, but that's what I love about it. I'm more addicted to the experiences than I am the accrual drug or even my high. I'm like that sober too. I won't buy myself anything unless it's on sale. I'll spend so much on gifts for my husband and daughter, but won't even buy myself a $20 shirt. But if we last minute decide to go on a road trip or even out for dinner, I'm not afraid to spend the money because it's an experience with the people I love. Rock stars used to do cocaine before and after shows to help them focus. They would then mix other shit which would make them destroy hotel room and act like maniacs. Oh. Then yeah, it's normal. Why do you think it's so addictive? The high of coke is so short-lived you sometimes don't even feel it. What's why you're always gonna feel like it wasn't enough so you'll wanna do more? Exactly, I definitely wanted more after the effects wore off, but I found it very subtle compared to marijuana, which alters my mindset completely sometimes and can be unbearably intense. Because weed is a sedative drug, like it treats anxiety, stress, nervousness. While coke on the other hand is a wake-me-up drug. Like ecstasy or amphetamines. They're meant to keep you up. Weed makes you wanna relax and not even trip about anything, whereas coke makes you wanna go be a narc. For me, weed can be a bit psychedelic as well, like it alters the way I see things. Not in a visual way, although it can make colors look a bit brighter sometimes, but it makes everything seem a bit different and it gives me bad anxiety and paranoia at times. Yeah, when you smoke a lot, you start hallucinating. And yes, while weed does treat anxiety, if you smoke a lot, like almost every day, then yes, you get bad anxiety and paranoia. Kinda ironic, isn't it? Honestly, if you smoke a lot, take 2-week breaks from time to time. After the break, like 0.3 of a gram will get you faded as fuck. Did you smoke pot on it? If so, it would just kill any energy. Work against each other. Unless you're shooting coke intravenously, there's no way you're gonna get as high from it as you can get from weed. In my opinion, snorting it is a waste, just a 30-minute headache followed by feeling kinda burnt out. Shooting it feels like your entire mind is exploding with euphoria. I end up shaking from joy alone. Only works for like 2 to 3 shots, then you have to put it down for the night though. Yes, sounds like coke. But only one line? Of course you didn't get the feeling on top of the world feeling. Having a sesh throughout the night with multiple lines produces that. Not a couple key bumps / one line. If you really want to know what the hype is about, get a half G to yourself or share a G with your friends, but I don't recommend it honestly, very slippery slope. I'll let you in on a secret, cocaine is a shit drug and a waste of time. Run away from it while you can. Yeah, I'm gonna control my coke habit, this time. This time? LMAO dog, I be telling all my friends that I'm scared to be rich AF cause as soon as I have lots of fuck around money. Dog, that kilo going straight to the brain. I think that's also why I'm still into it, because even though my willpower seems weak, I know hands down if I don't want it, I'm not doing it. I'm 27 and just starting to come into my life after dealing with the monsters of my past. So I almost feel like I'm using to make up for the experiences, conversations, and raw relationships I have. Don't get me wrong, not every person I've let see me do this is my BFF, but in the few years that I've done this, I've met some amazing people that have proven they love me even sober. Cocaine is pretty underwhelming unless you get pure shit. Sounds like a decent product. If it was bad, you would have only felt anxious and uncomfortable. I know it's good when I want to talk a lot. People think they can judge it by how numb it makes your gums after doing a numbie, but that is not a good test because it gets cut with other numbing agents. If it's chunky, it's usually better shit because when it's all broke down into powder, that indicates it's been cut. You can't put powder back into chunks after cutting it. My dealer cuts his so bad I won't even want it, but we have an agreement that he won't cut my portion and I pay a little more. He said he cuts 28 grams by adding 7 grams of a dental numbing agent so he can sell more product. I'm surprised you got such a strong effect from a couple lines. I would say it sounds like it's decent product. I tried it a couple more times after that. It was from the same dealer but much weaker product. One line had no effect on me unless it was a relatively big one. The effects were a bit different. I felt more energy for sure when I did enough to feel it, and I felt like punching things as I was stimulated, but no real euphoria, just a slightly better mood which I would describe as mild euphoria, nothing groundbreaking, and my confidence did not increase significantly this time. It lasted for 30 to 40 minutes and I had no come down afterwards. Basically I felt more energetic for a bit more than 30 minutes and then it was over with no come down. Was that even cocaine? Is this what the hype is all about? Feeling more energy and a bit of a better mood, slightly, for such a short time. I get more euphoria by running on the treadmill for 40 minutes. It's not always going to be consistent even if you get it from the same source. Sounds like that batch was heavily stepped on, or cut with other bullshit, making it weaker. It gets cut every time it changes hands, so some might have more cut than others. Look for chunks or little rocky pieces when you buy it, because that usually means less cut. The whole point of doing cocaine for me is that it erases my depression, which is constantly there otherwise, and it gives me the energy to get out of bed and get things done, and I like the feeling of well-being that comes from good coke. It's not going to completely take you into a different reality. I've done just about every drug in existence except for LSD or PCP, and of all the drugs, marijuana actually is the only one that can seriously alter my reality, and I don't like that. Marijuana is underestimated because that's the one drug I feel the most uncomfortable driving on. I would rather drive on heroin or coke any day because I am still in reality, just I feel differently. Heroin is more of a body buzz that feels like a warm blanket over your whole body and is very relaxing. Benzos have never done anything for me besides make me tired. I can't stand the taste of alcohol, and weed makes me too loopy. So basically coke is used because of the sudden burst of happiness and energy. People like to do it at parties to stay up longer and drink more. If you've got low-grade stuff like it sounds like you did the second time, then you're going to find that you have to do a lot to get high enough to get that euphoria you described from the first time. Sometimes you can do a lot and still not get beyond the nervous, uncomfortable feeling that bad coke creates. I don't know how big your lines are, but each one I do is probably about 0.25 grams, and I've done 6 grams in a day and a half just trying to feel that euphoria, only to be disappointed because the product was so weak. If the product is excellent, then it should take me 3 or 4 days to finish 6 grams. I don't know if this makes sense or lends any insight, but hopefully. Also, there can be other shit in there too. I had just gone on a 3-day binge and ended up getting drug tested, and they told me it was positive for ecstasy and negative for cocaine. Speed or amphetamine is another drug they pass off as coke because it is also an upper and most people probably won't notice. Personally, I found it depended what environment I was with and who I was with. I did it while I was at a festival and I felt like I could take on anything and had a lot of confidence. Also did it at clubs and felt more to be talkative and jittery like you said, and very alert. Also a guy named Bob did the OL Wolf of Wall Street and did it at work, was doing admin at the time, it made me feel alert and that was it. Done it before going out to a club with pre-drinks and just felt talkative and really high and mighty. Yeah, sounds like some pretty decent and blow actually. Especially if you didn't wind up edgy/nauseous/need to take a shit. Like coke in its pure form is supposed to make you feel the way you felt and euphoria. So to say you felt most all the effects of the best stuff is great. I've snorted tons and would say I almost never felt what I personally would describe as euphoria. You're gonna experience that when using coke in what some would describe as edgier ways.